And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
The
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Swack.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
BTDY Contender Series. The Contender Marathon 225 here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway, wrapping up qualifying. Getting ready to grid. We've got some cars still out there on the track. We've got the 8-car Cody Atkins out there wrapping it up. About 5 minutes left in qualifying. We get the set to bring you live flag-to-flag coverage here live on VSPEED. Recent merger bringing us together. I'd like to thank Adam and everybody at BTDY. I'm excited to bring you this race tonight. 225 miles, 150 laps. Current weather conditions looking pretty favorable for some of these guys. Air temperature 64 degrees, track 67. And as that sun goes down, it's going to get better and better. Got a few things to wrap up here before pre-race, and then we'll go through your grid. Cody Atkins is going to bring it down pit road. We'll be right back. Bring you our sponsors of tonight's race.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
So more of the same this week. Alexander Pelican going to start on the pole. We've got about a minute 58 left before grid, and it's looking like the 31 car going to start up front here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 150 laps. It's a long race. They did call it a marathon for that reason. We're going to have a lot of lead changes, but I think it's going to be between 2 or 3 guys. Dowden Motorsports team has just been insane this entire season. It's good to see you out there in the chat. War Bovine. We're making it as seamless as we possibly can here tonight. So let's go ahead and bring up your qualifying times. A 30.208 for Alex Pelican. Anthony Pelican just behind him, 7 thousandths of a second off. That's next to nothing. That's a piece of paper. Brett Somers looking good there in that top 3. And a guy that we've been talking a lot about that having consistent finishes, currently not on grid, the 54 car. Not sure where it was tonight, but VSPEED out there with the commands. If you guys would like to check out the bot commands, there's a complete list available. You can bring up the points, standings, schedule. There's all kinds of good stuff in there. So, Charlotte Motor Speedway, intermediate 1.5 mile oval, steep banking. It's kind of a cookie cutter track that we run at a lot, very similar to Atlanta, Texas. I would even calibrate with Chicagoland, Kansas being in that same genre. Some of these guys got these tracks figured out, and the Pelican boys are going to be tough to beat. 0.05 of a second for Brett Somers. We'll see what that equates to after about 20 laps and see if anyone can keep up with these boys tonight. Like I said, weather track temp looking really good. Take you onto your grid here. 31 car looking good. 98 car going to play some defense. These guys like to trade as the race progresses. 10, 15 laps in, Anthony Pelican starts to show a little bit of speed. Alex Pelican gets reeled in. Now, it was at Las Vegas the last time that we went to a track similar to this, and there were some issues on the restart for Anthony and Alex Pelican. Hopefully they can get started. They're not starting behind each other this time, so it shouldn't be an issue as we go through your grid. 31, Alex Pelican on the pole to his outside, Anthony Pelican. Brett Somers in that 77 car is going to start in the 3rd spot. To his outside, Dallas Sullivan in the 46. Jeremiah Vincent and Justin Carey. It's going to be row 3. 9 car, 21. 42 car, Kyle McGarvey. He's going to start in the 7th position with Nick Gardner in the 8th spot in that 16. New paint scheme on that 16 car. I like it. Eric Lambert in the 19 car. Going to start in the 9th spot with Alan Dice in the 5. Rounding out your top 10. Cody Atkins in the 11th position. Dennis Steele. Timmy Emanuele. Noah Mishkalski. I'm going to butcher that name. I apologize. There he is. Sharp-looking machine. 14 car. Nathaniel Ostrowski. He's going to start in the 15th position. Robert Gilmore in the 40 car. Going to be 16th. And that should round out your field here tonight. Let's get back up there. Alex Pelican going to lead him off here tonight. VSPEED on the broadcast. Dialed in on the hood. Green flag is out, and we're live here tonight at Charlotte. Alex Pelican wasting no time getting to the bottom. Anthony Pelican going to fall in line right behind him.
Gosh, man, I didn't hear nothing.
We've got a yellow coming out here. It looks like Dennis Steele back in the back of the field. 28 car getting sideways. Right at the jump here, we can rewind about 10 seconds. Right out the gate, the 19 car looked like maybe he missed a shift, a little accordion effect. The 8 car got involved in that, but then Dennis Steele's going to come off of turn 2. He gets really loose on the outside. That cuts it sideways. He keeps it off the wall. 14, Ostrowski, and Emanuele barely missing him. But that's going to bring out caution number 1 on lap 1. These guys getting some damage here. Jeremiah Vincent's definitely going to have front damage. Rear end of that 19 machine. So a really quick 3 and out here. Just looking off of the damage that some of these guys got that weren't even involved in the actual caution. On lap 1, we didn't make it maybe 100 feet, and that 19 car is tore up. Definitely going to get 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles on that machine. Just a little too much juice, I guess. I would say that some of these guys might have missed the shift, and maybe the 42 car missed the shift. I'm not sure. He's got a little bit of rear end damage. But the 19 really got the worst end of all of that, and Dennis Steele bringing out the yellow, getting loose on the outside. It's a product of cold tires. This track is really cold, and it's going to take a while for him to heat up. We'll have more grip over the course of the race as this track starts to rubber up, maybe heat up a little bit. But that right front's going to wear off of these things quickly. Right now, it looks like the right rear is going to be the problem. Is Dennis Steele is going to fall to the back. EOL for bringing out caution 1. And this guy right here, he's going to lead about 5 laps before we go green. Alex Pelican, Anthony Pelican, Dallas Sullivan able to get a pass in there on Sommers before the yellow came out. So he's going to pick up a position. A lot of different strategies are going to go on here. We've got 16 cars out on the track. 1 caution thus far, and these guys get doubled up. 31 on the inside, 98 on the outside. I'm interested to see if Sommers can pass on that outside. I know that Charlotte can be one of those tracks, especially in 3 and 4, that you can pass on the outside line. It's just going to be really tedious. We saw the 28 get loose up there. You're going to have to be careful, at least for the first couple laps, if you have that run. And pray that the guy on your inside holds it down there. But here we go. Let's try it again. Coming up on the Geico restart zone to take lap 5. There they are.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out. This time a little bit cleaner start for everybody. Field spreads out. Sommers able to get the position. He got the jump on Sullivan. Takes it right up to the outside. And look at Nick Gardner moving up through here. Gardner wasted no time. He got around the 21 on the outside. Now he's working on Dallas Sullivan. Sommers stuck up on that outside. Looked like he might have lost a little bit of ground. But he's gaining on the 98. Running a little bit higher line. Watch the run he gets off of 2. Had to lift out of the throttle. A hesitation there. Might have got a little bit loose. But he's right on the bumper of the 98 right now. Tight racing between these two. Track's starting to heat up a little bit. You can already tell these guys got some heat in those tires. Big run for the 77 to Somers. Now to the outside. Here comes maybe a pass on the exit. He stuck his nose in there, but I don't think he had enough momentum through the apex to carry him through. Into turn one, more of the same. And that 98's taking the line away. 77 of Somers gets really tight going into one. Now the 46. Dallas Sullivan getting to the inside. Drag race down the backstretch. That entry into three is a little bit better for the 77. But we've got the 46 car, Dallas Sullivan, coming off of a podium last week. Look at the confidence, holding it down there on the inside. Now looking to the inside of the 98. 98's definitely playing defense right now for the 31. This top 10's got some speed. Looks like they're hungry. 9 car, he's working up through there as well. Jeremiah Vincent. He's to the inside of Alan Dice right now. Just tag that apron a little bit. All the 5 car into the wall. Alan Dice hard on the exit of 4. And he's going to get passed by a lot of cars. Right side damage on that machine. You see the 8 and the 19 that have damage. They're getting around him as well. Let's take it back up here. Nick Gardner was striking some moves here. I thought maybe he was going to get around both of these guys. He backed off a little bit. It seems like once you get behind a guy, you lose a little bit of that speed. That front downforce makes it a little harder to turn. Can't get the run off that you want. You have to lift a little too long. Big run for this 46 car to the inside now. Playing defense again by the 98. That 98 car is 3 lanes wide down the backstretch. He's taking away this line, keeping these guys tight behind him. And that's allowed the 31 to pull away a little bit. Alex Pelican, about 0.2 of a second ahead. He's just trying to maintain tires in that clean air. They're still side by side. Sullivan. Somers. Oh, Sullivan just barely tags the apron on the entry of 3. Almost crowds the 77. He had to lift out of it. There's a name we haven't talked about much yet. There's the 2 car. I'm going to call him Noah. Wachowski, I believe is how that's pronounced. He's looking to the outside of Jeremiah Vincent right now. Going board with the gyro cam. These guys are too wide from about 3rd spot back to 7th spot. No one can decide who's going to be in that top 5. Vincent still down there on the bottom. He was peeking inside of Nick Gardner for a second there. This top 5 running really hard. Let's go back here to Colin McGarvey. He was to the outside of the 19. These guys are getting by him. Remember back at the start of this race, the 42 had an issue, maybe a missed shift or something happened in front of the field, and the 19, the 8 got involved. The 19 has since got a little bit of that fixed. Looks like he's settled in a little bit. But now we're side by side, Nick Gardner, Wachowski. 2 car wobbles a little bit on the entry, but able to hold it down there. Touch the apron again. That's going to be close off of the exit. Nick Gardner getting the run back. Man, that was close. Still a drag race here. This is for the 6th position. Gardner on the outside, Wachowski on the inside. They can't decide who's going to be there. Vincent has moved up quickly. He's working on the back of Sullivan. We take the wide angle You can still see the 2 and the 16, the 9 and the 46. It's going to be close racing. This top 5 has not spread out. It's not how I predicted it. 31 car has not run away. Alex Pelican still your leader right now. 15 laps led for the 31. They are pulling away a little bit. You see the 46 starting to race side by side. That's allowed these guys to pull a little bit. If Dallas Sullivan can get by, he needs to get around Brett Somers, or the Pelican boys are going to run away with this thing. Looks like it's really tough to pass. Identical lap times going on here. I don't think anybody told him. I think these guys are just trying to keep up with that 31 and 98 tonight. Any means necessary. 77's finally got it cleared up. Dallas Sullivan, Jeremiah Vincent are side by side off of 4. This is for the 4th position. Seems like the run is there on the exit of these corners, but the entry, you get such a run running it low. You see Vincent down to the bottom, able to stick his nose to the door, but as soon as they come off of 2, it's right back to the 46. So any advantage, it's pretty much matching entry to exit. You get a big run off the outside. It's just whether or not you can do anything with it. And Somers knows that. He's kind of running the middle line. He's taking that away from both of these guys. Holding his own up there right now, though. So through your field, 31 car, Alex Pelican, Anthony Pelican just behind him, and that's 2nd position. Brett Somers in the 77 car. He has his hands full. Dallas Sullivan, Jeremiah Vincent. Now we got the 2 car, Michalski coming into the mix. Nick Gardner's just kind of sitting back, waiting for this. He doesn't know what to do with it yet. 3 cars to the outside. This is for the 3rd through 5th position. 6th position. They cannot decide who's almost 3 wide coming out of 3. Vincent trying to hold down the bottom, not getting into the 46. Crazy racing going on right now, guys, for this top 5 position. I don't know, Bovine. I think we might need to tell him. A lot of racing left to do, but these guys are putting on a show. Look at the 2 car down to the bottom. Now he's down to the inside of Sullivan, tags the apron. You can see that little hop it puts on the inside. Moves the car up the track. Hopefully nobody makes a big mistake and hops up into the door of somebody. But still side by side. Somers, Vincent, Sullivan, Michalski. Gardner's going to probably have to stick his nose in here in a moment because he's got the 21 of Justin Carey catching up to him. Carey's making up a lot of ground. These guys have been up here racing now for about 20 laps, side by side. Sullivan finally getting cleared by Nick Gardner and Michalski. Starting to settle down a little bit. How many cars will make it to the end on the lead lap? Right now, we've got about a 2.5 second gap, 2 1/4. Jeremiah Vincent moving up into the 3rd position. Vincent's on a mission right now. Starting the 5th spot. Fell back to about the 6th or 7th position before that caution on lap 1. He's picked him back up, trying to go get those leaders. Counting it right now, 2.1, 2.2 seconds. You see that exit speed. He's losing about a tenth here. And that could be a product of just racing behind these guys, trying to get around them lap after lap, running the bottom line, wearing those tires down. Two car, he's able to clear everything. Wachowski looking pretty fast here tonight. Gardner able to get around Sommers. So these guys that were playing defense, the 77, he was playing the middle of the groove. Now he's back side by side with Sullivan, who has to lift. Now Carey's going to try his luck. Kyle McGarvey's catching up to this pack. Lambert's going to round out your top 10. He's about 2 seconds back from all this going on. Lambert's got a little bit of damage from that start. He got the front end fixed. The back's still a little crinkled. Might take another caution to get that machine repaired fully. And then the 8 car. We're talking about Cody Atkins also getting involved in that. These guys kind of have identical. You got front end damage on the 8. You got rear end damage on the 19. I think you can figure out what happened from there. Quiet night right now for the 14 car. Nathan Ostrowski. He's running in the 12th position. But he's had some solid drives here the past few weeks, able to finish out. Not get caught up in any business. And he's moved up about 3 spots here tonight. Starting 15th up to 12th. 30 laps into this thing. Your leader, 31. About 0.2 of a second ahead of Anthony Pelican. These guys have not let each other go. Yeah, I read that. I agree. But I tell you what, man, there's a lot going on. These guys trying to fight for spots, and sometimes it may not seem like it's a good move. But if you can clear those guys early and get down pit road really quickly, not have to pass so many cars later in the race, get them while it's fresh, get it while it's hot. The tires were working pretty well. Now it seems like everybody's settled down. You've got the 9, Jeremiah Vincent, roughly maintaining that gap. He hasn't fallen off too much. 2.7 seconds. Last we checked, it was 2.2. He's lost about 0.5. You got the 2 car, Michalski. He's hanging with the 9 pretty well. There's one of our other 2-time winners, Nick Gardner. Got to win at Daytona, got to win at Las Vegas. Outside of that, it's been a pretty dominant performance by the Pelican brothers. It's tough to get a win. Add your name to that list. Check the track temperature. It has heated up just slightly, 1 degree. Air temperature stayed about the same. And there's a pretty decent gap from 5th back to 6th. The 46 of Dallas Sullivan running that higher line. Probably trying to nurse those tires back. He was pinned down there on the inside for quite a few laps with Sommers. Sommers has fallen all the way back to the 9th position. He's under fire from the 19 now of Lambert. As they come into 4, I think Lambert might have the run here. Cody Atkins will follow suit. Not sure if that 77 car has any damage on the front end. He does have a little bit of right front damage, so that car got tight. And that's from racing side by side for so many laps. Using that stuff up. All right, so your top 10, Anthony Pelican, Alex Pelican, Anthony Pelican, Noah Michalski, Jeremiah Vincent, Nick Gardner, your top 5. Dallas Sullivan, Justin Carey, Kyle McGarvey, Eric Lambert, and Cody Atkins, your top 10. What's up, Nick Starling? What is going on? 7-car, shout out to him. Big thanks to everybody at BTDY for putting on this league. Sorry about that. Nothing like having a 5-year-old running around. 0.4 of a second. Anthony Pelican falling back a little bit. Alex is starting to figure it out. That clean air, big advantage. Alex should really be thanking Anthony, all that defense he had to play for the first 15 or so laps. I don't think it's going to be the same as usual. The 98 usually starts to reel in the 31 at this point. 31 car getting around Charlotte a little bit better tonight. Noah Michalski. What happened to Jeremiah Vincent? Vincent might have some right side damage. Let's go on board with him. He's all over the back bumper is the 46. Definitely some right side damage on that 9 car. And that put Michalski up to 3rd. Vincent holding on to the top 5, but for how much longer? Dallas Sullivan running that high line all over the back bumper. He can only run around if he's making left turns. Wow. Really close off the wall there for Sullivan. There's Kyle McGarvey. I apologize. This might be Kevin. This is Kyle. I got it right. Kevin's in the 00. I just have a K next to the name tonight, so I had to get used to that. So BTDY, race number 12 out of 20. It's been a great season thus far. Dominating performances by this guy. Alex Pelican always set out to start on the pole, lead as many as he can, and after tonight, he's got 40 laps led out of 42. But he's in the right position. Long marathon race under the lights here at Charlotte. And this guy trying to chase him down right now. Falling back to about 7/8 of a second. That's Anthony Pelican. With, I would say, pretty similar cars. It's just a product of being behind somebody for so long. As long as he can keep him maintained within a second or two when they pit, maybe Anthony will have something for him as this race progresses. The track starts to change. Back to the 2 car. Michalski about 3.5 seconds back. Nick Gardner reeling him in a little bit here. Gardner really close on the exit of 2, but this car seemed like it was handling really loose on the start of this thing. It's since tightened up dramatically, and we've got a pass going on back here. Jeremiah Vincent, Dallas Sullivan side by side. This has been going on now for about 8 laps. Vincent trying to hold on to the top 5. Sullivan trying to take it away. That time by P5 for the 46. And I just want to admire for a second this 19 car of Eric Lambert, the 8 car of Cody Atkins. Had some rough patch early in the race, but they've gotten it back to where they started. Great recovery thus far for the 8 and the 19 with all that damage. Yeah, I mean, product of the tires right now. It seems like iRacing's tire model really punishes you if you make a mistake, and we almost had a mistake right there with the 19. Lambert almost gets into the door. Cody Atkins. These cars do not need any more damage tonight. 19 car might have to look at the rear bumper. I think that's the clearance that the 8 wants on his door. 33. That was close. So a little swap here for the 6th position. We got some cars headed down pit road. Alan Dice. He's coming into pit. 16 car. Nick Gardner, he's leaving his pit stall. I apologize. That might be the wrong number on that one. Alex Pelican has brought it down pit road. He's being scored 1 lap down. 31, Alex Pelican. He's in there. So Anthony Pelican's out. Let's see how it all cycles through. It's going to be close between these guys. I believe the 98 car got on and off pit road a little bit quicker as he works the outside of Lambert and Emanuele. I think we've got a lead change. New leader. When this all cycles out, I believe the 16 car is coming down this time by. Eric Lambert coming into pit road. Emanuele's staying out. He's going to get a lap lead. Gardner's somewhere out there. He's in his pit stall now. Lambert just behind him. So after this all cycles through, 98 car, Anthony Pelican going to be the lead change. So we've had 4 lead changes, 1 caution so far. We're 51 laps in. BTDY Contender Series Marathon here at Charlotte, and it's been another Pelican show, but exciting. Top 5 couldn't decide where they wanted to be. We've got a huge gap of about 3 seconds between this 98 and the 31. He had to shake things up. 98 just able to get on pit road a little bit quicker. Alex Pelican showed a lot of speed on that long run. Was able to stretch it out to about a second, but that means the 98 was able to make up about 4. One heck of a pit stop for that 98 team. Nathaniel Ostrowski, 14. He's going to be scored in the 3rd spot right now. He might have short pitted these guys. So he's up in the top 3. You got the 16 of Gardner is going to be scored 4th. I believe that after this all cycles through with Ostrowski on those older tires, Gardner might find himself up in the 3rd position. Dennis Steele in the 5th spot. He's getting passed by the 21 of Carey, though. Justin Carey just having a quiet night, keeping his nose clean. Dallas Sullivan getting around Brett Sommers, and these guys have just been side by side the whole time. They keep seeing each other. This time it settles out pretty quickly, so I don't think that 46 is going to be in the same boat. 77 wore off his tires quick. If they can avoid that a little bit this run, I think they'll be better off. Maybe get back up in that top 5. But Sullivan, he's looking good as he goes around Dennis Steele here, maybe on the exit of 4. He's going to go up to the 7th position. Next car in front of him is going to be Michalski, and that 2 car, he was up in the top 3 a little bit ago. He's looking to get back to it. Some of these guys just not on and off pit road quite as fast. You can see what a gap that can make. 2 to 3 seconds. That's a lot of time lost on the entry to pit road. Side by side into turn 1. Kerry's just going to surrender that spot very quickly. 2 car up to the 5th spot now. Michalski's got the speed here. I think he's got a top 3 machine. He's just going to have to do a little bit better job on pit road. Started 14th up to 5th position. Probably the biggest mover in this race right now. So no Michalski. He's going to go to the inside and pick up the 4th spot now. Working back up to that top 3. Going to chase down Nick Gardner. But he's got quite the gap here. 2 seconds separating these 16 and 2 car. A lot of time left though. We're not quite halfway. Coming up on lap 58. But this guy all figured it out. He got it on pit road a little bit quicker. He's lost about half a second to Alex Pelican. But Anthony Pelican, your leader, as we approach the halfway point, should be enough of a gap if he can maintain it. He might find himself going down pit road by the lead, and that's you kind of dictate when everybody else is going to pit. Can almost be hypnotizing as a driver to be that far back from anyone. Hard to judge your exit, see if you're actually gaining. You don't want to look at your relative. You want to keep your eyes on the track, but it's always in the back of your mind, am I gaining any ground? And you can see the 31 is shaving that lead away a little bit every lap. But is there going to be enough time? Will he get on and off pit road? Let's go back to the 16, Nick Gardner. That's an even bigger gap to the leaders. 6.5. He is maintaining the gap back to the 2 car in the 4th spot. Michalski's going to have his work cut out for him if he wants that top 3 back. And the guy that's rebounding right now, he's trying to get back up in the top 5, Jeremiah Vincent. He's got his hands full though. Cody Atkins following right on by. Talking pit strategies. It's a good observation. Some of these guys will be able to make it on one stop if they stretch it out. That was the situation with some of those cars staying out so long. The 16, the 19, the 14 car stayed out. Well, actually, I think the 14 short pitted, so he's out of the picture for that. But some of these cars stayed out 2 or 3 laps longer than the leaders. They might be able to make it on fuel with one more stop. Definitely not going to be a one-stop race tonight with this marathon. Double pit, I like it. More opportunities. See some of these guys cycle through, and I tell you what, that 31 car is coming. He's got it down to 1.8 seconds now. He's not wasting any time. If he was saving fuel, he's got it in the roll cage. There's no way the 31's saving anything right now. Driving the doors off of it, trying to catch up to brother. These Pelican boys, they've been back and forth all season long. We've had some great finishes before the merger. Over at BTDY, we had Drivers Network America, now at VSPEED. It's been a great group of guys to watch, especially these Pelican brothers. Tracks like Michigan, Auto Club. These guys side by side at Darlington for a lot of laps. We didn't know who was going to finish where until the very last turn. We had some door slapping at Chicagoland. I believe it was Kansas. It was one of those tracks that just perfect finish. Definitely going to go down in the history books here at BTDY as the closest finish we've ever seen. But again, 1.3 seconds. He's trimmed off another 4.5 tenths. Maybe the 98 car's starting to get a little tight up there by himself. Nick Gardner's lost a little bit of ground. Not too bad. 5.7 back to third. Some of these guys have just singled out such a gap between everybody. Some of these guys are praying for a caution. They've gotten so far behind, and I know the 8 car, Cody Atkins, is praying for one. Get some of that damage fixed, the 19. But this race has went green since that first caution on lap 1. The field is spread out, and the likelihood of that happening is getting smaller and smaller as we wind down lap 67 out of 150. Rolling Rock having a great recovery, though, for that damage. He's been hanging with Jeremiah Vincent, who's in the 7th position. Vincent started in the 5th spot. He was as high as 3rd at one point. Got a little tight, clipped that outside wall, and he's kind of fallen back just inside the top 10. Another great recovery in this race, just based off of damage, is the 19 car. Eric Lambert. He's getting around Ostrowski right now. It's going to put him up in the top 10. He's got considerably more damage than anyone out here on this track, and he's still up there in the top 10. He's making that thing work. I know it's painful, but those are the things you have to do to have a complete season. Less than a second now, separating your leaders. 31 car reeling them in a little bit each lap. Down to 6 tenths now. He's got a little bit later entry into 3, and that's helping him drive off. You're going to see another tenth shaved off here on the exit of 4. Alex is getting around this place a little bit faster. A little bit of a line change here for the 98. You see him moving up a groove. Five tenths separate him now. We're going to have a pass for the lead. Probably within the next 6 or 7 laps, there's going to be a side-by-side. Catching him's one thing, getting around him's another. Anthony was really good at keeping that defense up, taking away the guy behind him, taking away his line, making it really tough to get that exit speed that Alex is showing right now. 3 tenths of a second. You could see Alex moving it down to the bottom, trying to keep the clean air. He's now in that draft, and that's going to burn that right front up a little bit. Go back to the 21 machine. Justin Carey, he's running in the 6th spot. Pretty tight group here. I look forward to getting a little racy in a couple laps. 21, 46, 9. They seem to be shrinking the gaps between each other. Carey's having a solid race, though. Work his way up in that top 5. If they get running side by side for too long, the 9 car, Vincent, will catch up to them. And that all pink machine did have a little bit of right front damage, but he's not letting it slow him down any. Now, we were talking about it. That draft has changed it. It's stretched back out here to about 0.4 of a second. Catching him was one thing, passing him was another. When he got up in that draft, dirty air, front tire's just not gripping the same, can't get the exit speed. And that momentum burst that we saw from the 31, it's kind of went stagnant. We've plateaued. So we can do a shout out to your favorite race driver in chat. We can follow along with them. Also, you guys, if you haven't subscribed or consider subscribing, this league runs a premiere series on Tuesday nights, presented by VSPEED. Goes live at 8:30 Eastern Time. That's PM. But if you guys like what you see, make sure you hit the subscribe button and never miss a single race. Get live notifications turned on. You can see when we broadcast through the week here at VSPEED. 0.2 of a second now. These guys are just shrinking the gap. I think we're coming up on maybe our last pit stop within the next 10 or so. You can hear them clutching it a little bit. Coming up on some lap traffic. Ostrowski coming off of pit road. Alan Dice in front of him as well. Sommers and Dice. Sommers really falling off here tonight. He was looking solid to start this thing. Qualified up in 3rd. Currently running in the 13th position. Car did get tight on him. He had some issues early. But this track must have changed and it didn't favor the 77 setup tonight. 98 car working his way by him to put him 1 lap down. He will be the first car a lap down, but the 14 of Ostrowski being scored 2 down. He's got a little bit fresher tires in this group in front of him, so he's going to get one of those back. I believe he's going to have to pit a 3rd time. Unfortunately for the 14, that's going to spell trouble. He's probably going to be outside the top 10 when this all finishes out. There comes the 77 of Sommers down pit road now. Just went a lap down. He's going to bring it in. Able to hit that commitment cone just fine. Long pit road, though. I can remember a time when Charlotte didn't have an inside or an outside pit wall into the pit road. Now you have to get her woed up and locked down. If you make that mistake and never shoot that pit, you're not going through the grass. You're going into concrete. And that can ruin your night. Nick Gardner has it to about 4.3 seconds. He has shaved that lead away a little bit, showing that long run speed. Just under 4 seconds now. But all over the back bumper, and it has been for a few laps. Alex Pelican trying to take the lead away from Anthony Pelican. There's a runoff of 4. Can he do anything with it? Great drive off of 2. He's going to get a run down the backstretch. Going to make another move. Maybe peek to the inside. Anthony running that bottom line. But look at the drive. He cuts it down with a late apex. And that's giving him such a run off the corners. We're at the point now where tires don't matter as much. It's late in the run. These guys are starting to pit. I think Anthony's going to have his hands full. Alex is just going to have to do it perfect on pit road. The battle between the two Pelican boys, we're no stranger to that. Whoever makes the least amount of mistakes is going to prevail. We've had some weeks where these guys have ran so close to each other, they end up getting into contact and ruining each other's races. It's unfortunate when it does happen, but it parts the seas and sometimes makes it possible for a different outcome. Nick Gardner was a beneficiary of some of that. We've seen some guys do it at Talladega. We've got Dallas Sullivan on pit road right now. Alan Dice as well. Dice actually exited pit road just a moment ago. He's got a little bit fresher tires on that machine. Affinity for gaming. Oh, clips the outside wall coming off of 4. That's going to upset that machine. These guys really trying to stretch this out to one more stop. It's going to be close. Some of these boys. Anthony Pelican coming down pit road. Four fresh tires. It's going to be really, really close. I don't know that these guys can stretch it to... Oh, man, it's going to be a cut in it. I don't know. There's a 31. Alex Pelican coming down pit road now. Nick Gardner stayed out longer than these guys last time. He's going to be your leader. He can go a couple more. He went 2 more than last time. He might do it again here. I think Gardner might be the most realistic one to push it all the way. Closest car to Gardner right now is Jeremiah Vincent. Vincent's about 6 seconds back. He scored as the second position right now. We've got 6 cars that have not pitted yet. Nick Gardner, Jeremiah Vincent, Justin Carey, Kyle McGarvey, Eric Lambert, and Timmy Emanuele. Emanuele, one of those guys that's really good at picking and choosing his pits. I think he's just got a different fuel tank than some of these guys. But Gardner staying out. This is going to be the 3rd lap of staying out past all these other cars. He's on the right track. Leading another one so far. 5 laps led for Nick Gardner. Started 8th, finds himself in 1st. He doesn't want to stay out too long, but if these guys can't make it, and he can with this one last pit stop, you can see right there the 98 of Anthony Pelican coming back to him to get that lap back. What a difference these tires make. Gardner's probably going to let the 98 car go here. He doesn't much have a choice, but I look for the 16 to pull it down this time around. I think if you're on that different fuel strategy, you are praying for a caution. I think Nick Gardner's sitting exactly where he wants to be. 98 car back out to the lead. This time the gap's not quite as big, though, between the 31 and the 98. Less than a second separating them, so the 31 got on and off pit road exactly the way he needed to. 16 got in here clean. Good for him. Jeremiah Vincent being scored in the lead right now. He's going to lead it that time by. He's going to have to pit. He's stretching it out a little bit further. I look for him to pick up, if he can do this in one stop. He stayed out considerably longer than the rest of the field. We're pushing it on 5 laps here. Nine car really working a strategy. He's going to stay out another one. Not sure if he's clutching this machine, if he started this run with that in mind the whole time. Can he push it one more? He's trying to get to pit road, you can tell. He's got the 21 to carry coming in right behind him. 42, McGarvey. So we got 3 cars. This is pretty much the last 3 on this stint that have not pitted, and they've pushed it a lot further than the rest of the field. These guys are pretty much guaranteed, I think, to make it to the end. This is a gamble, but if that 98 and 31 can't make it on that one stop, you got Lambert out there as well. These guys really stand to benefit. They're going to have a lot fresher tires. That's a big gap with 5-6 laps. They can start making up time, and if those guys have to start clutching it at all. See, the 42 is going to pick up a spot here on pit road. Gets around Carey. Nicely done for the 42. Manueli, one of those cars that short pitted, so I think he's on a different turnaround than the rest of the field, currently being scored as your leader. 3 seconds ahead of the 98 of Anthony Pelican. And Emanuele's probably going to have to pit here very soon. We got a car up in the wall, 42 car hard in the outside wall. And there it is. All right in front of the leaders too. Somers.
Very difficult.
Somers gets into him.
Make sure we're minding our P's and Q's.
And there it is. McGarvey hits the outside wall, completely loses it on turn 4, takes out the 77 of Brett Somers, who also has to tow. Let's go back and take a look at what just happened. So there's the initial wreck. The 42 car gets really loose and he can't get it off the wall. Somers just nowhere to go. Doesn't even see it. Back it up one more time for you. There's the 42 car. Yeah, the 31 car camouflaged that as they came out of the exit, and it was too little too late for the 77 to make a move there. Let's go on board with the Pelican brothers. They're rushing through turn 4. Alex Pelican's heart just skipped a beat. Close call there for those guys. Caution number 2 here tonight. And that just takes everybody's strategy and throws it out the window. 16 and Nick Gardner looking good. 9 car. Vincent was looking good. All that is toast now. It's going to be who can chase down the 31 and the 98. Emanuele kind of benefited from all that. He gets to go back on the same pit cycle as some of these guys. You got a few cars that were a lap down. The 2 car that was up there in the top 3 at one point. He's being scored 12th, 2 down. Sommers, he's towed. Say the 42 and the 77 are done for the night. Dennis Steele had a lot of damage. Robert Gilmore, first car out of the race. But I'm very confused. I don't know who's going to be on what strategy. Some of these guys double pitting. Maybe that's really close on their fuel window anyway. I'm not sure. We are getting packed back up, and these guys are going to be right on top of each other. Nick Gardner going to be scored your leader. But 2 cars trying to get his laps back. Nick Gardner might have stayed out. Started 8th tonight. Finds himself up in the top spot here with about 51 to go. This is BTDY, live on VSPEED. BTDY Contender Series. Brought to you by Simulators Anonymous. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Then we'll bring you the rest of this race uninterrupted till we take the checkered flag here on VSPEED.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader, known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey Street Fairs. You can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
BTDY Contender Series getting back, going green here.
Green flag.
About to get really good here, folks. 98-31. Anthony Pelican, Alex Pelican, side by side. They take the restart. Anthony Pelican able to get out to a little bit of a jump. Take away that line of the 31, and he's got it, taking it to Gapplebee's. 1/10 of a second now, separating these guys. Dallas Sullivan back in the mix. He's on track for a top 3 right now. Cody Atkins finds himself in the 4th spot, able to get a lot of that damage repaired. And this top 5 has just pulled away. Nathaniel Ostrowski He's in the 5th position, looking good here. During that commercial break, the 16 of Nick Gardner brought it back down pit road. He was a car that stayed out. Got a lap led, but now finds himself back in the 8th position. And he's racing with Jeremiah Vincent. These guys were on that pit strategy. They were looking good to finish this thing out. But now they find themselves racing side by side. They're behind Justin Carey. Sizing it up here. 16 car, he's got to plan his moves carefully if he wants back in that top 3. He can't get to racing these guys side by side for very long. 45 laps to go as we go around this time. Alex Pelican still trying to find a way around the 98. '98's able to drive it in just a little bit deeper. You can see the late apex not quite working on this short run right now. Alex is going to have to change his line and keep that right front on it. He's running right behind his teammate and brother, and it's just going to chew that right front off of that machine. Anthony a little wide on the exit. That lets Alex breathe that right front a little bit. But what a gap these guys have already pulled out to. 1 second ahead of 3rd place, Dallas Sullivan. He's got Cody Atkins peeking to the inside back here. Atkins with that damaged machine doesn't care. Going to 3rd now. To the inside in turn 1, gets on by. Impressive move by the 8 car. Especially with all that left side damage on the rear of that thing. It's got to be handling different than what he was practicing with. But man, is he driving it, doing the right thing at the right time. Trying to chase those leaders down. 1.67 seconds back. Dallas Sullivan losing a little bit of ground. He's got Ostrowski on the inside now. This is for the 4th spot. Nathan Ostrowski now. Thought he was crazy for short pitting, but look at him up to the 4th spot. He's looking at a possible podium here as he's trying to chase down the 8 of Cody Atkins. $40 laps to go here. 98 and 31 have not left each other's bumpers. It stayed about 1/10 of a second. Big gap back here. No gap in front. Alex Pelican's going to have to save those tires if he wants a crack at it at the end. It's going to be tough. This is the same boat that his brother was in at the start of this race. They stayed really close to each other, and then after about 20 laps, the 98 started fading. He had to beat him on pit road. Not an option this time for the 31. He's going to have to do it on the track, save those tires, run his line. Nick Gardner working his way back up through. He's in the 6th spot now. He's able to get around Jeremiah Vincent. Justin Carey puts him up to 6th. Field spread out quite quickly here. Some of these guys maybe electing to take 2 tires. Get some positions on pit road. Carey in the 7th spot. He's clutching it, as you can hear. He just rolled through 1 and 2, completely off throttle. He's trying to make it to the end of this thing. He's clutching it hard, but I don't know. I don't know what the pit window is going to be, if they're going to be short. Some of these guys don't care. They're up there trying to get to the bumpers of these leaders. And these leaders don't care either. They've stretched it out to 2.5 seconds. Nathan Ostrowski up to third now. He gets around Cody Atkins. Podium spot now for the 14. Look at the gap here between the 98 and the 14 car, though. That's a lot of ground to make up, and these guys aren't saving any fuel in this front 2 spots. They're going to stretch it out as far as they can if they do have to pit. Anthony Pelican started second, led 49 laps here tonight. His brother started first, led 46. So these guys trying to fight to see who's going to lead the most laps. Right now, it's the 98. I don't know. I wish I could do the math here on the fly, but the numbers just aren't adding up. We got the 14 car off the wall into the grass. We just missed it here. Let's go back really quickly. Yep, he trims that outside wall. Takes him all the way back to the 5th spot. Lost a ton of ground there. Dallas Sullivan's going to be up in the 4th position now. Cody Atkins back to 3rd. Slight little mistake. The 14 was looking good for a podium tonight. Ostrowski's going to have to get it back underneath of him. Sullivan started 4th. He's in 4th right now. 4 seconds back. He's got the trifecta, a little hat trick there on the numbers, but this guy's been up and down through the field several times tonight. And he fought with Brett Somers for a lot of laps. Now he finds himself close to a podium. Let's see if he can wrap this thing up. He is clutching it. Listen to it as it comes into turn 1. On throttle, on clutch. He's going to roll all the way to the apex. Now back on the throttle. A little fuel-saving strategy. Some of these guys are pretty convinced they're not going to make it. But these guys right here, they don't care. No clutch being used by the 31 of the 98. They've stretched it out 3.7 seconds. Cody Atkins is the closest car to him right now in that 3rd spot. He's definitely clutching it for sure. Running a little bit higher line as well. This would be a great recovery for Cody if he's able to wrap up a podium with that machine. Fireworks aren't over yet. 121 laps complete here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Really close wall riding there for the 8 car. Nick Gardner's going to find himself up in the 5th position now. Ostrowski brought it down pit road. I think he's convinced he's not making it. And with that damage, all those spots lost, he pulled it down in. A lot of different strategies going on this track right now. We have an official word from the tower that the leaders will not be able to make it on fuel. A lot of these guys were already questioning it, but these two up here, the way they're running, there's no way that they're going to be able to make it all the way to the end. But right now they're thinking about how far can we stretch this thing out before we have to pit. These other guys have to pit, we're fine. But if the case happens to be that they stretch the fuel enough, I think that these two right here have made a grave decision racing each other. 98 car, 31 car, class of the field all night, but sometimes it just comes down to strategy, the way the cautions fall. We're going to see how it all plays out uninterrupted here on VSPEED. If you guys are loving this magic, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to us, helps the channel out tremendously. Adam Baker has put a ton of time into getting this to work. Lots of solicitation trying to get me to come over here as well. And I'm glad to be here. I'm glad we made the transition. 98 car bringing it down pit road. Anthony Pelican said, I can't make it. I know I can't. This changes everything. 31 car. Maybe he was forcing his hand. Nobody around him. He was so focused on what was going on in front of that 31 car. Now he looks back in his mirror and there's no one to be seen. He's going to bring it down pit road. Might have got us. Ooh, he was close. It was very close, but I think he's okay. And he had a little bit hotter entry than the 98, so I believe he's going to come off of pit road ahead of him. Might be just topping it off with fuel here. Right sides are going up, so he's taking tires. That could be a bold move too. One of these guys just tops it off with fuel. See if they can make it to the end. You're only going to have about 15 lap difference in your tires. But the longer you stay out, the more committed you get to racing this thing out to the end. This is a tough call. This is a really tough call for some of these guys. You hear some of them clutching. Justin Carey's out here. He's been clutching since the green flag came back out. Cody Atkins, Dallas Sullivan, they're both clutching it right now. Atkins, your leader right now with that damage. It's just impressive the kind of race that Atkins has had tonight. Started 11th in the first position. He's leading another lap here as they go by. There's the go juice by the 98. As he goes around. This 8 car, this 46 car, they are super committed to staying out as long as they can. And Anthony Pelican getting that lap back the old-fashioned way. Dallas Sullivan in a good spot here too. If they can make it, they're in an excellent position. Check in with another guy that's been putting on a little bit of strategy here tonight. 16 of Nick Gardner. Finds himself 1 lap down. I believe he came down pit road as well. He will be the first car a lap down if we do have a caution. He's got some work to do. It's the 8 car and the 46 in front of him here. I thought that 31 did a better job on pit road, but apparently I was wrong because the 98's still ahead of him. These guys definitely driving like they've got somewhere to be. It's an excellent observation. They do have somewhere to be. It's back on the lead lap in that top two. If the 8 car and the 46 car can make it, Atkins, Sullivan, I don't know that they can do it. And it'll be a miracle race for this 8 car if he can get the damages out of his head at this point. I think we've talked about it more than he's thought about it this race. He finds himself up there in that top 3 a couple different times, and now he's leading this thing with less than 20 to go. And he is clutching the hell out of it. That's what he's got to do. Here comes the 16 car to get his lap back. Nick Gardner down to the inside. So you can see the difference in the intervals here. You've got a 22-second gap to the leaders. Those are the guys that have pitted. Ostrowski was the first one to do it. Then we had Pelican. Then another Pelican. Gardner and Lambert somewhere in that mix. So we got Dice, Vincent, Emanuele, Carey, Sullivan, and Atkins have stayed out on the track. And again, Cody Atkins just running that high line. He is committed. He shows no signs of pitting. He's going to stretch it as far as he can. They are really stretching these turns on the clutch. At a certain point when that interval for the Pelican boys gets less than 4 or 5 seconds, if you're not making it on fuel, you realize you made a mistake because you have to go. That's what I worry about happening here. As long as these guys are clutching it into the corners, it's tough to say right now, but we got our guy on pit road running around. Guarantee he's listening to every comm on the radio chatter, trying to figure out who's going to make it and who's not. Ostrowski's getting around. He's getting his lap back. He's still looking good for a top 5 in that 14 car. Especially if the rest of this field has to end up hitting pit road. Here comes the 46 car. He's right up on the bumper now. He's drafting. He's doing what he has to do. The 8 car might let him by here. I'm not sure. This might be a change for the lead, but Dallas Sullivan kind of wants to hang back behind him. Atkins knows that, but he needs to save more fuel than him. At a certain point, Atkins might have to give up that lead just to save enough fuel because the 46 car's definitely got the draft working in his favor here. He doesn't have to use full throttle to keep up with the leader. And he can clutch it a little bit sooner. Plus, with the damage on that 8 car, he's not going to have quite the speed down the backstretch that this 46 is going to have. And if they figure out the numbers and get it right, the 46 can pull away with it. Here's the change for the lead. Dallas Sullivan taking it over with 12 laps to go. Sounds like these guys are running electric cars around this track. Three-tenths of a second now. Cody Atkins is conceded. I think he's got to save a lot more than he wanted to here before the end. It's going to be super close. Back to Justin Carey in the 21 car. He was clutching it at the very start of this run. And he's catching up to the 8. He might have enough to make it to the end. Let's ride on board with him and see if he's still clutching it. He's still clutching it, but not quite as far as these other guys. And he shaved that lead down to 2.6. He's carrying a little bit more speed. Is there enough time for him to get up there and catch Dallas Sullivan? Sullivan had an up and down night all night long, racing with Sommers, got close, maybe a door touch or two. Fell back all the way out of the top 10 at one point. Couple of cautions later, finds himself position 1, pass on the outside. Atkins losing another position here. Justin Carey up to P2. I don't know. I think I'd push it just a little bit harder here if I was the 21. How close are you on those numbers? If you're +1 in the green, I would go for it here. I would push it for a lap or two. Try to get that lead down under a second. Maybe make the 46 of Sullivan push it harder. You don't know how close he is on fuel. He's got it down to 1.5 now. Dallas Sullivan, your leader. Justin Carey chasing him. Alan Dice in that 5 car is going to have a top 5 tonight if he can make it on fuel. But look at these guys. No, I take that back because he's got his hands full. 31, 2, 98. All over the bumper of the 5. 5 car puts a block up on the outside. He's going to let the 31 of Alex Pelican to the inside now. Pelican boys are trying to catch him. I think they're out of time. They're still out here. 46, 21. 39 of Emanuele is going to be up on the podium right now. He gets around Cody Atkins. Atkins still have an impressive finish tonight. He's just had to clutch that thing a little too much, I think. And with that damage, these guys are on the pedal now. Who's it going to be? 4 laps to go. Dallas Sullivan, 1.1 seconds. Justin Carey starting to turn up the heat a little bit. Here they come off of turn 4. That clutch pedal's going to be broken by the time they're done with it. He can see the lead in front of him. Does he have enough fuel to push it and catch the 46? We have 3 laps now. He's on the pedal. He didn't clutch that time. He's done with the clutch pedal. He's going for broke. Justin Carey running it wide open. Less than 6/10 here as they come off the exit of 2. Dallas Sullivan's going to try to take the white flag and hold on to it. He's off the clutch pedal now too. Does he have enough fuel to make it around one more time? White flag in the air for the 46. Sullivan crosses it. We're at 2 to go. I don't know. There it is. White flag up on the overlays. Final lap this time by. Sullivan carried the closest 2 cars on the track. He's on the pedal. He's giving it all she's got. Oh boy, I think he's running out. I think he's running out here at the line. 21 car into the outside wall. The 46 held on to it. Dallas Sullivan, your winner here tonight. Excellent drive for the 46. He's out of fuel. He's got to be out of fuel. Dallas Sullivan somehow pulls it off, runs out of turn 4. 21 car just had nowhere to go, put the block on him. Let's go back and take a look at that. Excellent finish to this race. You can see it right here. The 21 car has the run. The 46 knows he's not going to make it, but he had to stay on the pedal. He's on it right here, but the 21 gets such a run. He just can't go anywhere with it. And there it is. It runs out of fuel as soon as he crosses the line. Excellent drive here tonight for the 46 machine. Great job by all these guys on that fuel strategy. And a heads-up move by the 46. Just runs the 21 out of track. He did what he had to do. The 8 car, Cody Atkins, giving him a little congratulations on the bumper. We're not going to see a victory celebration. This thing's out of fuel. All right, post-race interviews with your top 3. Oh, he found some fuel in the tank. Emanuele must have gave him a little bit of fuel. He got it fired up for a second. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll get a top 3 interview right after this.
Here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
Pulling for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
All right, we're looking for Dallas Sullivan down here in Victory Lane. It was a great race tonight, Dallas Sullivan. Man, you had enough fuel just to make it to the end. That block on the outside, tell us about it.
Holy moly, Bradley, we finally won one in the BTDY league, man. I've been running this since the first day, and we finally put her in victory lane. I didn't have enough gas to do a burnout. What's up with that? But, whew, yep, we made it.
Well, man, it was coming down to fuel strategy. Even before the caution, we were debating on if guys were going to make it in one stop, and that yellow came out, and it just threw everything out the window. What was
Man,
going through your mind?
I was so indecisive about it. I wish I had come down to top off after once we got going. I was like, there's no way I'm saving. And then the Pelicans kind of walked off, and I'm like, well, I might as well try. What's the worst that can happen? And uh, I guess about 4 or 5 laps into that run, I was clutching and shutting the engine off, and just trying to manage it. And about I don't know, about 20 laps to go, or no, about 30 laps to go, I was pretty sure I'd be able to make it. And I was keeping an eye on their times, them catching me, and I see I got still had a 4 second buffer at the end, but um, yeah, that was a little close for comfort. I was sputtering coming across the line. I was watching the replay with Justin. It sounded like he was sputtering too, and uh, he got to my bumper, and I just gassed it up and hoped for the best. And I hadn't been driving hard, so I didn't know that the car was was gonna push on the exit of the turn 4 there, and I hope I didn't run him too hard into the wall, but it looked like he got tight on his own too, because he was probably in the same situation I was. But man, oh man, that never works out for me. And I had a race last week that it kind of did, and I got another one this week, so my luck's gonna run out at some point, but I'll take it while I can get it.
Well, the marathon man, Dallas Sullivan, you put it all together, led 13 laps tonight. You started fourth, and it was an up and down race all race long. You were in the top 5. You fell back out of the top 10. You got back up there at the last 40 or so to go. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's victory?
Man, shout out to you and your broadcast. You're doing such a great job up there. I'm so happy to see you hooked up with VSPEED and Adam. So that's really cool. Really proud for you, man.
Thank you.
Shout out to my mom and dad watching back home. I know they're probably enjoying that. And like I said last week, all the admins that help us out with this, we just have such a great league of people that show up, even on these nights that we don't have a huge car count. It's just a great community that we've got here, and just thanks to everybody that shows up to these races and makes them fun, man.
Well, that tight-knit community, it's an accomplishment when you can beat those Pelican boys. So congratulations, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
Hey, man, maybe we can make it 3 in a row.
Let's see it.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Dallas Sullivan, your race winner here tonight. Excellent drive by him. Let's catch up on pit road. We've got a second-place driver that we need to get the right scoring, and this is the part that I was going to struggle with tonight. I knew I would, but we got the 21 car, Justin Carey, second place finisher here tonight. And as soon as I find his name, there he is. Justin Carey, second place tonight. I cannot pull him for some reason, so I'm going to move him manually. Trying to catch up with him on the pit road. There he is. 21, Justin Carey tonight. Second place, and it just the last turn, the last lap, the last drop of fuel. Walk us through it, man.
All I'm going to say is I feel like Chase Elliott coming up second, that close. But no, it just, I might have saved just a touch too much to not be able to catch him in time. I wanted it so bad. I might have overdrove that last corner, which took myself out.
We were seeing the strategies work throughout the race, and then that caution came out, just threw it all out the window, and you guys were sitting pretty. You started clutching at the very beginning of that run. We kind of estimated that you might have a little bit more than Dallas. Was that the case, and it just didn't work out?
I was clutching it pretty early, but intermittently was trying to stay close to the people in front of me because I didn't want to lose too much ground and had to try and gain it all back up. So I literally, as I went into turn 1 past the checker flag, I ran out.
That was close then. Very close.
Yeah. I applaud Dallas. They were saying he pitted on 98 and I had pitted at 101. I'm like, I think I got it. He's going to run out. I'm hoping and praying he's going to run out, and he just never ran out.
The longer this run went on, I mean, the math was there. Everybody's doing physics, but ultimately you're driving the car. So kudos to you, man. You kept it shiny side up, and you found yourself up in the top 3.
I'll get one eventually. But yeah, I want to thank VMS, Simulators Anonymous, Outlaw Desert Racing, Cons Racing, OE20 or Operation E22 Racing. It's just all the guys in Sim Anonymous. We were all talking, and we're like, I don't know if we're gonna make it. And when I'm hearing Jeremiah, who's behind me, saying he's not gonna make it, and we pitted the same lap, I didn't know if I was gonna make it. I was just like, screw it, I'm gonna try and do it. If I don't, I'm gonna regret it.
Yep, it's one of those things, man. You look back, hindsight's always 2020, but ultimately, great finish tonight. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank for bringing it home?
Just everybody I'd already thanked, and just everybody in this league, you guys. Just it was great. I'm gonna have to watch this broadcast like I do every single one, but to know I'm that close, I once again applaud Dallas for saving that much. I thought I could have got him. I thought I'd saved just enough to get him. I couldn't do it.
Well, hang your head high, man. It's a great finish, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
Of course, y'all have a good night as well.
You too. All right. There's your second place finisher, Justin Carey. Just a drop short. Come out of turn 4. Got up on that outside wall. Ran out of track. Almost out of fuel. Close finish here tonight. Let's catch up on pit road with your third place finisher. And officially, unofficially, I might have clicked the wrong buttons here. Let's hide all for a second. There we go. There we go. Third place finisher, Timmy Emanuele. We got the 39 car. There he is. Now let's get the Discord. A lot of things to click. Even with a third monitor out, Adam, it's tough. It's very tough. There he is. Oh, boy. We've caught up with him on pit road. Timmy Emanuele, you got a copy, buddy?
Hey, yes, sir. What's going on?
All right. So we're walking through. You're the guy that mastered this. The start of the season, we were talking about fuel strategy and tire strategy with you every single race. It was playing into your wheelhouse, and I thought you were going to pull off the victory. Those guys were going to run out.
Yeah, that was the plan. That caution kind of threw me for a loop because we were going to make it for sure. I was saving hard on that second run to set me up to not have to save on that last run, but the caution fell, and it just happened to work that the guys up front afterwards run some weird strategy. I don't know what their plan was. I guess go fast and save no gas, but yeah, it for once the strategy actually fell into my favor and worked, and I was hoping for another lap because they for sure were going to run out and I was going to get them because I was still a lap to the good at the finish there.
It was shaping up to be a close one. Those guys ran out as soon as they crossed the line, and you were good in the green there. Walk us through the caution. You guys were on another strategy before that yellow came out. Were you setting good with that short pit early?
Yeah, so with the first caution of the race, it kind of set me up for the strategy because we just came in and topped off, and then that put us at running about 52 to 54 laps on that green flag run there. And then the second caution came out, like I said, probably 4 laps before I needed to pit. So it saved me as far as track position is concerned, but I was on pace to run about another 52 to 53 laps on that green flag run there, which would have put me not having to save as much on that last run, which I'm confident could have got me the win right there.
Well, I tell you what, it was a great finish nonetheless. You brought it home on the podium. You started 13th tonight, so probably the biggest mover of the race. And that's an excellent accomplishment. Led 6 laps. You did a great job tonight. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank, Timmy?
Yeah, I want to thank Nick, Dallas, Alan, all the admins that put this league together. You and Adam for combining, man. Y'all do an awesome job. Adam's a great guy. You're a great guy. So this is going to be a great thing moving forward. And then got to give a shout out to my company, Black Flag Photography, on the car every week. So go give them a follow on Facebook, Instagram if you can. And all the sponsors that help put this league together, the guys over at Simulators Anonymous, they do a great job helping us out too. So yeah, just want to give a shout out to everybody that helps put this together and helps make our Monday nights fun.
We appreciate your time, Timmy, and we hope to see you next week.
Alrighty, sir. Sounds like a plan. I'll see y'all there.
Take care. All right, 39 car, third place finisher here tonight. We're going to go back and watch one more time because I just got to see it. I got to see it one more time. Let's go ahead and hit that instant replay button. We've got the 46 car, Dallas Sullivan, coming off of turn 4. What a finish here tonight. 2 cautions, 15 lead changes, and it all came down to this one turn right here. BTDY Contender Marathon. This guy coming across the line first. Dallas Sullivan putting it all together. Congratulations to the race winner. Congratulations to everybody that got up there on that podium. We look forward to another great race here at BTDY Contender Series. We go live Monday nights here on VSPEED. Tomorrow night's broadcast, Premier Series. They're going to be at Charlotte Motor Speedway as well. We're looking at another great race broadcasted by Adam. And I forget the other guy's name right now. I'm drawing a blank. I'll learn it. It's my first day. Don't fire me. We appreciate your time. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure you have the notifications turned on and you'll never miss a single race here at BTDY. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Looking forward to the next one. Next week, we're going out to the All-Star Night. Five Flags Speedway in a heat format. $30 payout to the winner. Hope to see you on the 18th. Appreciate your guys' time. That'll be a Tuesday night race amongst both leagues. Until then, we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Oh, big wiggle.
Here comes Lyle using the bottom south car closing in behind.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Wow, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes
comes
Swack.
A punch for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The